So why do recruiters ghost you? Well, in short, it's because they kind of have to. Now, hear me out. Speaking from a software engineering perspective, due to the increasing flood of coding bootcamp graduates and massive layoffs in tech, there is a surplus in the supply of entry-level talent, causing a decrease in demand for entry-level talent. Which means for any entry-level opening, it is not uncommon for a recruiting team to receive hundreds, if not thousands, of applicants. So that's why you get ghosted. And that's why you don't get any feedback. But maybe that's actually a good thing. For example, we recently had an entry-level position that received almost 1,000 applicants, and we had one recruiter responsible for filling that position. So if we did what candidates typically ask for, and that is do a detailed review of each application, read each line item on their resume, look through each project in their GitHub, read all of their references, maybe message the candidate to clarify some questions about their profile, then, and only then, if necessary, prepare feedback for and send personalized rejections to each candidate that includes detailed feedback. That would take at least, what do you think, 15 minutes? Most likely 30 minutes or more. But let's go with the bare minimum of 15 minutes so you can see how unwieldy this quickly becomes. So for 1,000 candidates, we're talking 15,000 minutes or 250 hours. It's more than 6 weeks of only reviewing the initial batch of 1,000 applicants for one role. And that doesn't account for other candidates who may have applied during that time that have increased the number of applications to review, or other internal meetings or assignments the recruiter is responsible for outside the scope of filling that one role. Or heck, the fact that a single recruiter is often responsible for multiple roles across multiple teams, departments, or, in the case of agency recruiters, companies. So let's break that work down then. Let's say in any given 8-hour workday, they have 2 hours for those internal meetings and reporting that they have to do. Then let's say 2 hours for interviewing candidates for the other roles that they're responsible for. That would leave only 4 hours a day to review profiles for this one position. And this is assuming the recruiter is practically a robot with no bathroom breaks or water breaks or anything like that. That 6-week estimate then earlier now turns into 62 workdays or 3 months for just the first step of this one role, just to pick a handful of candidates for the first round of a 3 to 5 step interview process, so they can provide rejected candidates the meaningful feedback they are asking for. So just so you know, that's the impact of what you're asking for when you're asking for more feedback on your rejection. While it may be meaningful for you in isolation, in this one instance, to get that more targeted feedback, but in the aggregate, it's practically impossible. I mean, you're essentially asking to be unemployed for an extra 3 months at a minimum by putting this arbitrary filler at the beginning of the interview process. And what's more, given that it could take another month or two to walk through the rest of the full interview process anyway, by asking for more feedback, you're really asking to be unemployed for that full 4 to 5 months in total. And is that what you really want? I mean, most people looking for work need a job like yesterday. And honestly, recruiters don't want things to drag on either. Not only would recruiters just straight up get fired if they could only fill 2 to 3 roles a year, but that process would also guarantee that only the worst candidates would get hired. Because at any point in this now 4 to 5 month flow, better candidates are getting offers elsewhere and jumping ship to other companies. So it really becomes hiring by attrition, and companies would be stuck with just whoever wasn't good enough to get hired anywhere else. So moving fast is in your favor, and it's in the recruiter's favor, and it's in the company's favor. So it is to your benefit that recruiters skim your profile, that they send generic rejection emails, and yes, even sometimes ghost you. Because that means when an opening comes up that you're actually a good fit for, you don't have to wait that extra 3-month period to actually get started. So since we want recruiters to move fast, the real question becomes, what can you do about it? Well, the easiest way is to help recruiters move fast when it comes to your application. So step 1 is to recognize that recruiters are moving fast, so make sure your resume and LinkedIn are easily skimmable. Comprehensive, yes, but easily skimmable. I talk a lot about these strategies in my other video, why you're not getting interviews and what to do about it. So make sure to check out that video for details. I'll include a link here at the end of the video and in the description if any of you are interested. But to add to the strategies in that video, I'd also say, step 2, message these recruiters on LinkedIn. As we talked about, they are juggling a lot of applications, and it's unfortunately easy for yours to get lost in the mix. So start a thread on LinkedIn with a member of the recruiting team and ping them periodically for updates. Now, don't be transactional about it or rude or overbearing. I'm not guaranteeing you'll even hear back, but you need to at least try to help them remember your application. And then step 3, track your own job applications. To this point, I've interviewed or mentored hundreds of entry-level developers, and it's not uncommon for me to hear folks submitting 600 or more applications before they get their first job in tech. So step 2, when I say you need to message recruiters and follow up on your application, that step really only works if you also do step 3. And that is track the status of those applications so you remember who to even follow up with. This is where I recommend Hunter, where not only can you track the status of each application, the contacts you have there, notes about each meeting, all of that for free, you can also use their AI assistant to speed up the job search process even more in general by using their system to generate tailored resumes and autofill job forms to reduce some of the tediousness of applying to each opening. Now, full disclosure, I am a Hunter affiliate, so signing up will help support this channel. But you can get started with basic job tracking for free or use the coupon code ERIK, that's ERIK, at checkout to get 10% off any of their paid tiers. And finally, step 4, find an experienced mentor to give you feedback. Since you're probably not going to get the detailed feedback you want on a rejection from a recruiter, you'll need someone who's been through this before to help you reflect on each experience and apply the appropriate next steps. Because the absolute worst thing you can do is just keep spamming the same resume to the same job boards to get the same rejections and not change anything. They say that's the definition of insanity, right? So some free services I found to be helpful to get that missing feedback include ADP List and Mentor Color, where you can meet with experienced software engineers who also volunteer their time to help new developers break into tech. I've seen folks get some great resume and LinkedIn feedback for free through these, and some will even do mock interviews as well. And if you're open to paid options, or you'd like some more dedicated or frequent support than what these volunteers can provide, I do have a network of trusted mentors and career coaches I'd also recommend. Their availability changes day by day, so just message me on LinkedIn if you're interested and I'll connect you. So ultimately, expect to get rejected quickly and expect to be ghosted frequently. While I know it can be frustrating, it may prove to be actually in your favor that this happens. So as I mentioned earlier, if you want to further decrease your chances of getting that rejection, make sure to check out some of my other videos here. Now, are there any other strategies I missed? Make sure to let me know in the comments, and remember to like and subscribe so you can get more videos on how to get your first job in tech. Now, good luck, my friends. You got this.